Look, there's a specific kind of heartbreak that absolutely blindsides people. And honestly, it's usually not the breakup itself. It's not the silence. It's not even the loneliness. It's the moment you realize or imagine that they're moving on. That's the moment people suddenly feel the pain all over again. Maybe you see a picture, maybe somebody mentions them, maybe they post something happy. Maybe you just know deep down that they're talking to somebody else, and your whole nervous system reacts. Your stomach drops, your chest tightens, your brain starts racing, and suddenly you're sitting there thinking, what the fuck? How are they okay already? Did I mean anything to them? Was I the only one destroyed by this? That's the part people don't talk about enough. Because people feel ashamed of this pain. They think, I don't even want them back anymore. So why does this hurt so much? And let me tell you something. This pain is usually not about jealousy. It's deeper than that. The pain is about meaning. That's why it cuts so deep. Because when you see them moving on, your mind immediately starts asking, if they can move on this easily, what did we even have? That's the real wound. Not ownership, not ego, meaning. You're trying to understand whether the relationship existed emotionally the same way for them as it did for you. And honestly, that question can fuck people up for a very long time. Because heartbreak isn't just about losing a person. It's losing the story you thought the two of you were living inside together. That's why people obsess after heartbreak. They replay conversations, they stalk social media, they analyze timelines, they overthink old memories, not because they're crazy, because they're trying to protect the meaning of what they experienced. Think about this for a second. If you're devastated and they seem completely fine, your brain immediately starts going, wait, was I the only one who loved deeply here? That's brutal. And honestly, sometimes the image of them moving on hurts more than the reality itself, because your brain fills in all the blanks. You imagine happiness, peace, emotional freedom, some amazing new relationship. Meanwhile, you actually have no idea what's real. But the brain hates uncertainty, so it creates certainty, even painful certainty. That's why people torture themselves imagining scenarios they can't even verify. Now, here's something important. Someone moving on does not erase what you felt. It does not rewrite your experience. It does not mean the relationship was imaginary. Two people can go through the same exact relationship and walk away carrying completely different emotional realities afterward. That happens all the time. One person may process slowly and deeply. The other may avoid, distract, suppress, replace, jump into something new immediately. People move through pain differently. But, and this part matters, sometimes we also have to stop romanticizing people who already showed us emotional limitations while we were with them. Because sometimes the way they move on matches exactly how they showed up during the relationship. Emotionally unavailable people usually stay emotionally unavailable. Avoidant people avoid. Inconsistent people stay inconsistent. And honestly, sometimes the deepest heartbreak is not they moved on. Sometimes it's, I finally have to accept who they really are. That's a different kind of pain. That's reality replacing fantasy. Let me pause for a second. If this is hitting you right now, like the video, subscribe, follow the channel, and share this with someone who's still secretly hurting over this exact thing, because people suffer with this quietly. Now, here's a shift that actually starts helping. Not fake positivity, not I'm amazing and they lost me. That usually doesn't touch the real wound. The real shift starts when you stop asking, why are they okay? And start asking, why does their emotional state still control mine? That's where healing actually begins, because at some point, the work becomes less about understanding them and more about rebuilding you, your peace, your identity, your emotional stability. Because if their ability to move on completely destroys your sense of meaning, then your meaning was still emotionally attached to them. That's the deeper issue. And look, I know this part hurts. You can understand everything logically and still feel sick imagining them with somebody else. That's heartbreak. But if you stop feeding the obsession, if you stop constantly checking, if you stop making them the center of your mental world, something slowly starts changing. Not overnight, but gradually. The emotional grip weakens, and eventually you realize, I still remember them, but they no longer control my emotional life. That's a huge shift. That's real healing. If you want deeper support working through this stuff, you can book a one-on-one session with me through the link in my bio, or reach out on pop call, voice, video, or chat. Alright, that's it for today from the Heartbreak Guy.